Hey, I'm Eric Franklin with the Garrison Public Affairs Office, and this week's episode, we took a field trip to the new housing area that is being built, and we got to check out the very first new homes that are being built for junior enlisted on the installation. Now, we spoke with the Fort Hood Family Housing as well as the Directorate of Public Works to find out exactly what it took to make this happen. All that and more on this week's Great Big Podcast.
Welcome and hello, I'm Corporal Kyra Pearl with the 3rd Armored Corps Public Affairs Office, and today I have with me...
Good afternoon there, Corporal Pearl. I am Chris Albus. I am the Project Director for Cavalry Family Housing, formerly known as Fort Hood Family Housing.
And I'm Janice Wright from Garrison Public Affairs Office.
Hey everybody, Brian Dosa, Public Works Director at Fort Hood.
So what are we doing out here today? We're on site, by the way, everyone.
Well, you're standing on the west side of the old Chaffee Village, which was built back in the 60s, where we have demolished a bunch of homes, and we're in the process of building 306 new homes that will be occupied by our junior enlisted soldiers starting in June.
All right, so we're here surrounded by several new homes with fresh coats of paint, and we see everything coming together. Where exactly are we in the process now?
Well, we started the first slab work back in December, and we expect to have the first home delivered to our first resident in the middle of June at a ribbon cutting ceremony, and then continue to build the remaining 306 homes on the west side of Chaffee through September 2024.
Okay. And what was the whole motivation behind these beautiful brand new homes for lower enlisted soldiers?
Well, Fort Hood has got a very old and aged inventory, probably the most aged inventory in the entire Army. And we wanted to provide modern, updated homes for our soldiers.
As a junior enlisted soldier, we very much appreciate the fact that we're being prioritized in this build. I can definitely attest to that at least.
Absolutely, and this is one of the many things we've got going on in terms of reinvesting into Cavalry Family Housing.
Speaking of the slight stutter, I heard that we're getting a new name. That's awesome. So has it officially been announced for everyone?
It's been officially approved, but Fort Hood Family Housing, along with the change from Fort Hood to Fort Cavazos, Fort Hood Family Housing has changed their name to Cavalry Family Housing. In fact, Chaffee Village is also going to change its name from Chaffee Village to Heritage Heights. And we are going to memorialize General Chaffee with a new street sign, or a new street, Chaffee Avenue, inside of Heritage Heights.
Well, Mr. Dosa, I wanted to get your input on things. How's it, the response been from Lend-Lease and from Fort Hood Housing with all the new homes?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have a partnership. So we privatized our housing back in 2001 under the RCI, Residential Communities Initiative program, but that does not mean we washed our hands of housing, just the opposite. We work together in a partnership with Lend-Lease. Very fortunate to have Lend-Lease as our partners. They do an awesome job taking care of our soldiers and families, and so we work closely together, and so we're thrilled to see Lend-Lease go out to the markets and borrow some money that we, the Army, probably wouldn't have been able to come up with to be able to make investments like this Chaffee Village, soon to be Heritage Heights home.
Now these homes are really, really contemporary and look like they're going to be very well decorated and everything. How important is it for these homes to at least mirror or even be better than, homes you find out, in the community or other commercial homes?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We have soldiers that volunteer to join the Army, join our nation's defense, and to serve. And some of those soldiers come to us with families. And we want to provide a place where they can live that's commensurate with their service and their commitment to our country. And so wherever we can provide them something that's better, like a single family home with a 2-car garage and a very contemporary open floor plan, that is awesome.
So it's coming with all the bells and whistles.
I don't think there's any gold plating. But I think our soldiers are going to love the single family home. They're definitely going to love the 2-car garage, the open floor plan, that just is more reflective of what, like you said, what's available out in the local economy. 3 bedrooms. Wait till you see the master bath. It is
Oh.
pretty awesome.
I can't wait. That might give me some decorating ideas.
I have 2 young kids. Can I just say open floor plans are amazing for families. It's so much easier to watch them while also trying to clean or cook or do whatever else. So how many houses are we making in this village?
So we plan on making, when it's all said and done, building roughly 586 new homes, both in New Heritage Heights West and Heritage Heights East. And we expect to have the entire project completed around January of 2026.
And how many houses are almost completed here or will be completed by June?
Yeah, so like I told you before, Janice, back in last December, we started pouring the first slabs. Right now, we've got 26 homes that are in progress, so they're coming along very quickly, and they've got 39 pads poured, and they'll continue the process until all 586 are built.
So the homes that we see here that are basically just getting the final touches, these probably will be done soon as well, right?
Well, like I said before, Janice, this home right here is going to be our first home.
Okay.
Our first resident.
Number 1 on the window.
That's right, number 1 on the window. And last week we brought some of the Army senior spouses out here,
Okay.
along with the resident who was going to be moving to that house.
And you're aware of who that is?
We are aware of who that is. We've got a process in place where we've got people already lined up to move into these homes. And that first resident will be part of that ribbon cutting ceremony we do sometime in June. And she came over here with her husband, her spouse, and they're extremely happy.
I
with what they're
bet.
gonna be moving into.
I would be extremely happy too, just looking at it.
How does it feel? We've been talking about this and leading up to this for so many months now, and the first houses are about to be done. It's around the corner.
Oh, it feels great. Like I said, the aged inventory we have here in Fort Hood and all the developments going on, even outside of these builds, means a lot. Like Mr. Doza said, we need to provide the best we possibly can to our soldiers that do so much for this.
Can we get a little bit of a tour of one of the houses?
Yeah, sure. We can take you in and see the first. But this is the model home here, by the way, too. So we're going to take you into the model home. It'll be fully furnished, and it'll be part of the ribbon cutting in the middle of June as well for all our distinguished visitors and our residents to tour.
That's exciting that everyone.
Very exciting.
These look like the kitchen cabinets.
Okay, lots of boxes.
Right now, the painters are in here, but like Mr. Doza said, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. 1,500 square feet, 2,000 under the roof. That is the driveway or the garage and the patios. High efficiency appliances in the home. An efficient HVAC system, and you can see a very wide open area.
I love this. Is that going to be where like an island or the sink is? I love it.
That's correct. Stainless steel appliances. Fire suppression for the safety of the residents throughout the entire home, a very solid and good roof, and like I said, energy efficient appliances and HVAC for the home.
Is this a 3-2?
Yes, they're all 3-2s.
So
Okay.
notice the open floor plans. You have a kitchen,
That's the part I love the
dining
most.
area, and a living area, or family room, all open. It's not compartmentalized. Very contemporary.
And I'm assuming, in the future there will be lots of lush green grass to dot the lawns in the backyard.
That's correct.
Go along with all the mature trees. I mean, the advantage of building Chaffee in this, or now Heritage Heights, at this location is we have lots of mature trees versus off post. A lot of times a green grass build, you have to start your trees from little small ones.
Even the door is contemporary. I love that.
This is similar to what you'd find off post too. So
Yeah.
this is what we try to do. We try to mimic what they build and they sell in Killeen.
Well, I'll have to get with you later, see where I can get one. I need a new front door.
Just one more thing too, this is going to be a community. So the homes are going to be great homes, but we're going to have walking paths, we're going to have a community garden. Mr. Doza mentioned the trees that we love to have here in Fort Cavazos, and we're also going to have a dog park as well.
Oh, that's going to be lovely.
This is going to be an amazing place for families. I love the echo. I know that'll be gone by the time the families get here. It has been amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we close out, sir?
No, I'd just like to say how proud I am of my company. I'm proud of the partnership we have with the Army in providing these new homes to our junior enlisted soldiers.
Well, I cannot wait till June.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Going boating alone can be relaxing and peaceful. The weather is nice, the fish are biting, and there's no one around for miles.
I got the bite of a lifetime, and without thinking, I stood up to reel it in, but in all the excitement, I lost my balance. I fell in and gasped. No worries, because I was wearing a life jacket, and my life was saved.
Your involuntary gasp reflex could cause you to drown. Life jackets worn, nobody mourns. Learn more at pleasewearit.com.
You know, I'm glad that we got a chance to get out of the office. You know, it's something that we don't really get to do. And Blair Dupree from the Fort Hood Sentinel, you missed out on a great adventure we had today. Mm-hmm. So what did y'all guys think about being able to get out and go see the new housing?
I always love getting a chance to travel outside of the office.
It was an amazing experience to, you know, go on location and actually get to tour all of the, well, not all of them, but at least one of the brand new houses that are going up in Chaffee Village.
And something Heights.
Heritage Heights.
Heritage Heights.
Oh,
that's what you mean.
That's the new name.
That's the new name.
Got to get used to that.
Exactly.
It's going to take a moment.
But speaking of traveling, the reason we have Blair here today is to talk about Traveling Soldier.
Yeah. How exciting.
So where did you visit this month?
I did a feature on some bluebonnets.
Ooh, I love bluebonnet season.
Yes. Since Texas, that's their state flower is bluebonnets. They are kind of dying now. So
yeah, they're on the decline.
Yes, we are approaching the end of bluebonnet season. So
I have to hurry up and get my selfies?
Yeah, I recommend getting out very quick.
I was very lucky last year. I was able to get my maternity photos in right before they died off.
The best time. I love bluebonnets. I just don't like the rattlesnakes that hang out in them.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's
okay,
not
I think
fun.
I can wait on those.
Just said, never mind.
No, right now, they're probably, right now, snakes are still kind of like, they're, because the weather keeps going up and down. They can't make up their mind if they want to be outside or not.
I feel like the season gets shorter every year.
It does.
Yeah, it definitely changes. I know last year I felt like they bloomed later.
They
last
did
year
because it was May when I did my maternity photos. I was so lucky.
Yeah,
so
and
very
I had
lucky.
to drive far out because I took pictures early last year, and I had to drive like an hour away from here to find any. So yeah, they're kind of fickle.
The pictures you took are beautiful, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We looked everywhere for the albino bluebonnet.
There's an albino one?
Yeah, it grows and it's all white. There's several different variations. We have the most common variation here. I put the scientific name in the paper. So
yes, I noticed.
Fancy name.
Yeah. They were very interesting to pronounce.
I know, right?
To pronounce.
Yeah, but I found an albino one in Temple by Crossroads Park.
Oh, that's pretty
singular.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. It was in the middle of the road in like a median.
That's cool.
So yeah, I was driving past it and I was like, "That's it!" You know,
pull over right now.
I was like, literally just hooked a U-turn and came back to it. But yeah, it was fun to go looking around for it.
That's really cool. What were the other traveling soldiers for this month?
Well, I went to Waco. Magnolia at the Silos is where I went. And I was always a big fan of the show. I believe it was called Fixer Upper with Chip and Joanna Gaines. I'm still fans of theirs. And so my friend and I decided to make a day trip of it. And it was marvelous. It was just like walking around in this little quaint little, city within a city.
Mm-hmm.
All of the structures and the buildings, they made sure to provide, a brief origin of how each came to be. And I really enjoyed that aspect. And of course, the food. I mean, they had a variety of food trucks, and then they had the bakery, which we unfortunately did not get to
That's the best part.
because the line was just so long. So we had to
Exactly.
we had to save that for next trip. But what we did do, we thoroughly enjoyed, some of the housing goods and everything was a little bit on the pricey side, but it was really pretty to look at.
Mm-hmm. When I worked up in Waco, we would go do stories over there, and Chip and Joanna, they would we would be doing stand-ups, just doing interviews or whatever, or just getting video, and they'd walk in our video, we'd go back and was like, hey, there goes Chip and Joanna, just just randomly walking through our shot, and we didn't even pay. We're not even paying attention to it. But when you go back and you look at it on a big screen, it's like, hey, there goes Chip and Joanna.
I would have loved them to just stroll on by. That would have been an awesome selfie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they do it every time that I've been down there, and it's if it's an event. I mean, it's what is it? Lights at the Shiloh at the I can't think of it, but there's several things that they'll just pop up and they'll just walk through, and it's just like, oh, there's Chip and Joanna. So it's pretty cool.
They really put Waco on the map in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think they just bought a new building downtown. Well, it's not a new building; it's an old building that they're making the Magnolia headquarters. So another traveling soldier coming up. If Chip and Joanna, if you hear this, we would love to come do a tour down there. And have you on the
plug.
podcast.
We would love to come and check you out.
I will buy more cupcakes.
I would get there early to get the cupcakes.
I think we'll all buy something if you agree to give us an interview.
And this week I'm actually did the traveling soldier. I went down to Georgetown, just real quick. So I grew up in Central Texas, and we went antiquing, and we would go antiquing all over Central Texas and Texas as a whole. So going to be able to go down to Georgetown and check it out, it's some great stuff down there. Their square, their not city hall, but their county building is right. The old county courthouse is right downtown, and they have a bunch of squares, a bunch of shops, on the square, and it was amazing. I had a fun time. They have this place called Lulu's Pie Shop.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's get to the good part.
Yeah.
That bourbon cherry pie.
Yeah, bourbon cherry pie. And it was delicious. They went back and they warmed it up for me. And I said, oh, my goodness, this is so good. So if you're ever in Georgetown and you're like, man, I want to get some pie, they're baked fresh daily. And they have an assortment of flavors. Like every day they change up the menu. So it's something different. But the bourbon cherry pie is a mainstay. It's always on there. And you can pick up some bric-a-brac. Yes, that is a real word. You can look it up. Bric-a-brac means just little toys, knickknacks. Just little things, little trinkets.
That's what I grew up saying.
Yeah.
I always love hearing all the different traveling soldiers. If you're new here, which I don't know who is, they're basically just showing off different locations local to our area that you and your family can go visit. And if you want to read more of them, you can always check out our weekly edition of the Sentinel, where you can also catch up on your current news.
Speaking of news, before we get into the news briefs, I will say one more thing. So if you're out there and you like to travel and you travel around the great state of Texas and you want to get your story in the Traveling Soldier, we would not be opposed to soldiers writing Traveling Soldiers. I wouldn't. We might have to work with you.
It is called Traveling Soldier. That'd be pretty cool.
But I'm a veteran, so I'm a former soldier.
Once a soldier, always a soldier.
Exactly. Allegedly.
That's right. Allegedly. I agree.
But so, and Janice is a soldier too, former soldier too. So we got it. Let's get into news briefs this week. Coming up, you better be ready to sell. Yeah, that's right. Fort Hood Family Housing is hosting a centralized post-wide yard sale from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. May 13th in the Fort Hood. Well, then it would be the Fort Cavazos. Store parking lot located at building 5,000. Yes, that's 5004. Clear Creek Road. The yard sale hosted by the Fort Hood Family Housing Residents Advisory Board will feature toys, furniture, tools, clothing, and everything in between. So make sure you get out there and check that out.
Perfect time for you to clean out your garage and all that stuff that you've been wanting to get rid of. Perfect time to do so.
Summer cleaning. Should be spring cleaning.
I was fixing to say.
Wait, is it too late for spring
thrift store?
Okay, you didn't say
quite.
I did say thrift store.
Quite.
Did he say thrift store?
You said
Fort Cavazos store.
If I didn't,
you did just say store.
All of this is staying in. The Fort Cavazos on May 13th. It will be the Fort Cavazos thrift store.
Thrift store.
That's just I'm just gonna say it's gonna take a moment to incorporate the new name.
habit
Yes.
breaking.
It is. It's a big change.
Oh, 100%. I just wanted to make sure I knew the right building so I can go get some stuff for my kids.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I'm trying
going
to get rid of stuff, so I don't think I'm going to partake this year because I've still got too much stuff occupying my garage.
I don't need to
and
partake.
I don't have the room to add to it. I really don't.
I don't have the room either. I shouldn't go.
But
I
that
want
won't
to.
stop me from driving past just to see what's there.
Exactly.
What else do we have going on?
We're going to take a hit class, that is. Every Monday, the Fort Hood Morale, Welfare, and Recreation is offering HIT-style classes every Monday from 6 to 7 at the Abrams Physical Fitness thing. It's high intensity. It's a lot of movement. If you're not ready, you better bring your water and get ready. So the PACT program, I think, Janice, you were spearheading this story. You have a little bit of knowledge on this. Tell us a little bit about what the PACT for Animals is. Do you remember?
I do. That was a great story. So PACT for Animals is an organization that actually helps to get animals fostered and helps to create foster homes for animals when soldiers have to leave them behind and they can't take them with them. And little did I know, this is a big issue because, you know, no one wants to be separated from their fur baby, but oftentimes, you know, situation doesn't allow for, you know, service members to take them with them. So PACT for Animals steps in and provides everything from foster homes to setting up ways to make sure the dogs get regular vet visits, nutritious foods, treats, all that good stuff. Basically providing the care that you would provide in you know, in the absence of the parent. So
okay. Yeah, you know, we're only 2 weeks away from the redesignation. That's going to happen on May 9th. Fort Hood will be officially redesignating to Fort Cavazos. That's the Fort Hood Sentinel is going to change as well. The Fort Hood Sentinel will change its name to the Fort Cavazos Sentinel May 11th. So the next two papers that you pick up, they're going to be collector's items because those will be the last two times that you will be able to pick up and hold a Fort Hood Sentinel.
That
this
sounds
week,
monumental.
Yeah, it is.
It's very monumental. I'll definitely be getting one of the last copies of the Fort Hood Sentinel.
That's crazy.
Yep, and that's it. This weekend, if you're listening in real time, this weekend I think it's going to rain a little bit, but we do have the Zach and Jim golf scramble coming up in Waco, and we have a couple of other cool things going on. Just make sure that you guys are out there staying safe, staying warm, staying hydrated, and taking care of each other. Do you guys have anything else?
We're going to be known as Fort Cav eventually. I've heard it's Cavazos for anyone who's confused on how to pronounce it.
Yes.
Seen some discourse online.
Discourse. I like that
Fort
word.
Cav is just, it fits
It's
really,
a pretty
really
good
well.
nickname,
Yeah.
honestly. I feel like we'll fit
Very
it.
fitting.
I think there's one group of soldiers on the installation that will call it that. Most will not.
Yeah, I think we can tell who will.
If you can point them out. Yeah, well.
They're wearing hats.
Yeah, Stetsons.
And a big yellow patch. Gigantic yellow patch.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure everybody get out there and travel. Get out there and clean out your garages.
Yeah.
Spring cleaning, y'all.
Yes.
Perfect excuse right now.
And get ready to call our installation Fort Cavazos.
Cavazos. Get it right. All right. Well, I thank you guys for coming on the podcast. I know, Blair, this isn't your usual day that you come on, but we thank you for coming on and hanging out with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison Fort Hood and Fort Hood Public Affairs production. The show's theme music is written and produced by Delicious All-Stars. All our music is obtained through Filter by Song Trader. Have a question or want to share some insights with us? Email us at forthoodpao@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at USAG Fort Hood. And as always, be sure to leave a review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.